Happy morning.
Happy morning.
A few weeks ago, we began a series of life lessons on persuasion. The idea is, when I have the capability to persuade people, a lot of things work. If I do not have the capability to persuade people, I might have the character, I might have the potential, but I will not get the results which I deserve to get. Persuasion is an incredible quality. A research done in LinkedIn with close to 19 lakh people said the most in-demand quality in the year 2019 will be the ability to persuade others. If I have a mission and I want people to join the mission, I need to persuade people. If I am hungry and I need to have the food of my choice, I need to persuade people. If I am a shopkeeper and I want to sell my goods, I need to persuade people. If I am in love in the environment and I want people to be a little careful, let's say reduce the use of plastics, I need to persuade people. Every advertisement is nothing but persuading people. Now let's come to our family. If I want to have a good family life, I need to have the ability to persuade people at home. Let's say somebody wants to eat a lot of junk food, and I think it's not the right thing to do. Today I cannot demand, today I cannot insist, today I cannot force people to follow what I want them to follow. Today I need to persuade people. So there was a time when if I instruct someone, I must be leader. Today, everybody needs persuasion. If I want the TV to be switched off for one day and everybody to chat at home, I need to persuade. If I want my son to think a little bigger, I need to persuade him. There is no point in saying, यार मैंने इसको बोला ये सुनता नहीं. If I don't know how to persuade, I get very limited in my life. So one of the most beautiful qualities that any human being can have is an ability to persuade people. Now you and me will not be able to persuade everybody, but we should be able to persuade enough people. So let's say we run Keep Moving movement. We need, let's say, 500 committed volunteers. But we need to be able to persuade 500 people that the best thing that you can do in these 3 months is to be a part of the journey. One part of the story is the society will benefit. The other part of the story is you will benefit quite a lot. If I have the ability to persuade people, I'll need to meet 500, 700, 800, 1000. But that 500 people that I need, I will be able to persuade. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, may say, nahi, not now. Some for genuine reasons, some because this is not area of interest. But I should be able to get 500 if I want to do that and if I want to lead this project. There is no point in saying इतना अच्छा आइडिया था यार कोई माना ही नहीं. मैं तो सबका भला सोचता हूँ, कोई मेरी सुनता ही नहीं है. मेरे को मालूम है मेरे बच्चे गलत कर रहे हैं, लेकिन क्या करें? आजकल उनको कैसे समझाएं? बोल बोल के परेशान हो गए. See, saying these things is not going to help. What is going to help is my ability to persuade people. So we started a series of life lessons about 3 Sundays back on things by which I should be able to persuade people. Now, what is the difference between forcing people to do something and persuading people to do something? Forcing people to do something, their heart is not involved, excellence won't come. Persuading people to do something, they see sense in it, and now they will give their 100%. And in times to come, even if you and me are removed from the picture, if we have been able to persuade people, the work, the mission, the happiness will continue. Hence, the ability to persuade is a very, very beautiful quality. Last Sunday, we had some practical experiences about how do we communicate. And today, we take it a little deeper. So today will be yet another life lesson where I will be speaking a little less, and you guys will be doing a lot of things. You will find a partner for yourself, and with the same partner. Last time we had one person dealing with 3 different partners. Today it will be the same partner, and it need not be a life partner. It can be anybody else. And with them you will sit and have a discussion at 3 different dimensions. Are you all in the listening frame of mind?
Yes.
Pratik, are you able to see me? Okay. There are 3 elements in a conversation. Element number 1 in a conversation is discussing about facts which are beyond proof, which means fact which cannot be debated. What is his name? Any one of you knows? The handsome guy, tomato red t-shirt. How many of you know his name? Okay, what's his name? Doctor? Doctor? Okay, perfect, very good. So his name is Dr. Anu Gaikwad. Now this is beyond debate. You cannot say no, his name is Dr. Vijay Rathi. His gender. Any one of you would like to guess? What is his gender? Male. He's saying it with confidence, so. No, beyond debate. That's a gender. Now, when there is a discussion, in a discussion, if you have to speak about facts, then the possibility of debates is very less. One of the techniques of persuading people is using facts. So 2 Sundays before, I was speaking to you about the big issue of juvenile crime in our city and what we wish to do about it. So the data that I gave to you was 3 weeks ago in the city of Pune, there were 10 murders. And out of 10 murders, 8 murders have been committed by juveniles. A juvenile is a person whose age is less than 18 years old and they have committed a crime. Senior criminals who are 35, 40 years old do not commit these heinous crimes anymore. They are making juveniles do it. One, it's easy to brainwash the juveniles and make them addicts. So they are given drugs, they are given liquor, they are given certain facilities, they are provided with as much smoke as they want, cigarettes as they want, and they are made to live a life where they don't have to work, yet all their addictions can be supplied to them. And then they are told, you have to go and do this crime, otherwise I am not going to support you and I am not going to supply all these things to you. And they are told, एक ही बार करना है बस, बाद में कभी नहीं बोलूँगा। अच्छा एक ही बार करना है क्या? Persuasion happens, and this person goes and commits a crime. Let's say they get caught. But a juvenile case cannot be filed and they cannot be kept in a jail, they are kept in a home. Now it's called ashray. Earlier it used to be called as remand homes. But they won't go through the brutality of the police. So these senior criminals will make the juveniles do these acts. Imagine, out of 10 murders, 8 have been committed by juveniles. Now their age is less than 18, and if they are alive for the next 20 years, imagine how the city becomes vulnerable. Now I gave you some data, and if anybody debates this data, says, "Aisa thoda nahi, well, chalo, let's go to the police station. Or if you want, I will get the data and I'll share it with you." Sneeze is coming. Fine. I'm not crying, but I have cold. Now when I present data, it is easy to persuade people. When I do not have data, it is a little difficult to persuade people. If any one of you write, there is a big science behind how the title of your writing should be presented. And one of the suggestions which guides will give to you is, in your title have a number. Number looks like data. Number looks like something very specific. Hence it's easier for people to believe in what you say when you present data. So 7 habits of highly effective people. Achha, there are 7 habits. There is something very specific, data oriented, easy to persuade. Few habits to persuade people, the title would have been much less effective. So one portion of communication is this data, are these facts. When you communicate to people, and if you have to persuade them, do you use facts? Do you use data? Now some of us realize we don't use facts, we don't use data, we use the third part of communication, which is opinions. मैं बोल रहा हूं ना, there is no data over there, it is opinion. Persuading through opinions is a little difficult. Persuasion through opinion is only possible when there is a bond of trust. Plus, the other person has ignorance. Now, what do I mean by this? I have never been to London. Joe has been to London. I trust him. Therefore, if I am going to London in December and Joe says, take at least 3 pairs of warm clothes. London is freezing at this point of time, and I know how much cold you feel even in Pune. Now I trust her. She has experience, and now she expresses her opinion that it is going to be cold, take at least 3. Now, why is this an opinion? Because there is no data that she gave. If she had told London at this point of time will be minus 10 degrees. Now in her communication there is a data, there is a fact. Many of us are poor persuaders because our entire persuasion is based on opinions. Sometimes, even if I trust you, I might have a different experience. Now, it's not about trusting a person, but it is different in perception. What do I mean by this? Let's say there is a movie, Gully Boy. कितने लोगों ने देखा Gully Boy? अरे बाप! Already? Okay, nice. So let's say, how was that movie, Girish? Must. Any of us has a difference of opinion? Anil?
I have not seen it.
So that's not difference of opinion, that's a blank paper. So I was speaking with somebody yesterday and they said, life is not as easy as Gully Boy makes it to be. His entire journey was kind of without any hurdles. बहुत smooth था. The cinematography was brilliant. The picturization was great. वो गली में जैसे घर होते हैं वो सब एकदम फर्स्ट क्लास है. But two smooth opportunities came. ये practical life में नहीं होता है. Now one opinion is too good, and another person sees and says, इतना smooth नहीं है. And let's say this person is saying इतना smooth नहीं है because they are going through a lot of hurdles in their life. तो कोई भी बोलता है ना लाइफ में हर्डल नहीं है, उनको जमता ही नहीं है. तो क्या फेंक रहा है? कितने प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं. Same movie, they might have also shared the same box of popcorn, but the opinion is different. Now, difference in opinion does not mean one person is right and one person is wrong. The way I look at a situation is different. Opinions are born out of perceptions, and perceptions are completely debatable. They are completely debatable. Anybody here who is marriageable age and ready to get married, मतलब कार्यक्रम चालू हो गया, घूमना ढालना है, you are waiting किस दिन हो जाए? Any one of you? करना हाथ ऊपर. What's your name? Ankita. So Ankita, see that happy face. Happily she is ready to get married. Sidhu bhau is there. Sidhu, what are your thoughts? He has a fear after he gets married he won't be able to make any comment. Because पता नहीं कितना बोलने का मौका मिलेगा. Hence he is saying no comments. Now the topic is the same, marriage. Difference in perceptions. And another great person is outside. Jo, she was here, I would have grilled her. Right now she is seeing it and probably commenting right now. Now on this two, if both of them decide to fight, क्या बकवास कर रहे हो? Baseless. There will be no persuasion. Which means if somebody has a strong opinion and you think you will prove them wrong without data, it's impossible. It's impossible. So let's say Sidhu says, 10 years ago, rate of divorce in our country was 1%. Last year, rate of divorce is 13%. Doesn't it prove that marriages are not working? And look at the speed at which separation is happening. Ankita will say, 87% are happy. Isn't that proof that marriages do work? Now they will discuss without becoming enemies. Now there is an attempt to find out what is right, what is wrong. There is no need to prove you are right or you are wrong. So there are three parts in communication. Part number one is data, facts, proof. Part number two, which I haven't discussed so far, which I am discussing now, is ideation. Ideation is what open-minded discussion with a need felt to understand as many perspectives as possible. Now that is ideation. चलो सिद्धू की भी सुनते हैं, चलो जो की भी सुनते हैं. So if I go and ask Jo, बेटू अभी तक शादी क्यों नहीं किया? She might say I have got nothing against marriage, लेकिन मेरे लायक कोई ढूंढ तो लो. बेटू सुन रहे हैं? She's outside, so I can say what I want. And Ankita might say, लायक वायक मालूम नहीं, 3 महीने के अंदर कुछ कर दो. नहीं, तेरे लायक ही चाहिए? अच्छा ठीक है. So now we can ideate who might be the ideal life partner. So somebody might say they should be well settled in life. Somebody might say there should be a lot of courage and daring. Somebody might say the two families must match. Marriages do not happen between two individuals, it happens between two families. Somebody might say, I want non-smoker, non-drinking, vegetarian, only with that person I will marry. Now in ideation, we have an open mind, wanting to listen to as many perspectives as possible. इस विषय में आपका क्या ख्याल है? Now that is ideation. So let's say I want everybody at home to wake up by 5 o'clock in the morning. I want everybody at home, and all of you are my family members, so this is home. Okay? All of you. 5 a.m. Why so much laughter with sarcasm? Alright, Sachi. Now I can attempt to create guilt in you and say, if you are true life schoolers, you will wake up by 5. If you love me, you will wake up by 5. If I am anything to you, you will wake up by 5. It will work with 2% people. 98% will say, yeah, I like you, I love you, you mean a lot to me, but I will wake up at 7. Now I may have to go to data. In Fortune 500 companies, 83% of CEOs wake up by 5 o'clock in the morning. They say 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock is the best time of their day. Uncluttered, no pressure, fresh thinking. And all complicated issues or big decisions they have to take, they take it between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. And if I am living a life where I don't have to take big decisions, then if I wake up by 7, 7:30, absolutely okay, because I am just going through routine. तो कुछ कमाल करना है तो थोड़ा जल्दी उठना पड़ेगा. Now this is what research shows. This is not my opinion. This is Fortune 500 companies research. They wake up by 5 o'clock. So what time would you prefer to wake up? Either you can say I am not ambitious at all. रोज उठ जाता हूँ ना. That is an achievement. कुछ खास करना और मन नहीं अपने को. और जब तक अखबार में आता है ना आँख खोलने का मन नहीं करता है. So if the newspaper will come by 4:30, I might think. And, but if there is somebody who is dynamic, somebody who says कुछ तो कमाल का करने का है. I don't want to die just like that. I want to leave a legacy behind. Because I spoke about Fortune 500 and gave you data, it might be the last nail in the coffin. It might be the last straw on the camel's back. And you don't have to be persuaded ever again. And you will change your schedule in a way where you wake up at 5 o'clock. But if I do not give data, and I just say, जो 5 बजे के बाद उठते हैं ना सब नालायक. Now there will be a lot of fights. Now there will be a lot of bad blood. Now there will be a lot of heartburn. And if I attempt to take my age, my wisdom, and say, मेरे को मालूम है कि नहीं? And some of you would have heard that in your childhood. मैं तेरा बाप हूँ, तू मेरा बाप है. Some of you can say that. I mean, बादशाह can say that. मैंने अपने बाल धूप में ऐसे ही सफेद नहीं किए. Adil can also say that. Girish, me, we can't say that at all. Chance nahi. Now saying all that doesn't work. So data, which is core facts, ideation, where you get everybody to engage and pull in ideas, and then about opinions. Any conversation which flows this way, data, ideation, opinions, has a much higher chance of success than you straight away going for your opinion and saying things should be done this way. So Ravi is in plywood business. A customer comes to him and says, मेरे को घर के लिए लकड़ी चाहिए वगैरह वगैरह, तो मेरे को 20 शीट चाहिए. Then Ravi will probably show him a plywood and say, ये माल आजकल बहुत बिक रहा है, बहुत शॉर्ट सप्लाई है. आज ही आया है, आप हो आपको मिल रहा है, शाम को आते तो नहीं मिलता था. And the reason for that is he is using this technology, that technology, और बाकी किसी की ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है. ये लेके now he is giving data. And then he is attempting to persuade. Chances are it will work. Now imagine another scenario. He gives this data and then he says, आपको ये सब क्वालिटी चलेगा कि आपको कुछ और भी चाहिए? इतना चीज चाहिए कि इससे थोड़ा कम हुआ तो भी आपको चलेगा? He moves into ideation, gives data, moves into ideation. which means the customer believes कि मेरे ऊपर ये थोप नहीं रहा है, मेरे को पूछ रहा है, मेरे को समझ रहा है, मेरी जरूरत जान रहा है. Chances are the customer will say आपको जो ठीक लगे. Now if he takes these 3 steps, he will find his ability to persuade is going through the roof. Others don't know, they are selling the same product probably at a cheaper price. But he is able to make greater sales. And the customer doesn't know, but he says, वो रवि के पास जाते हैं ना, अच्छा लगता है. ऐसा लगता है कि भाई कोई घर वाला ही इंसान है. ऐसा नहीं लगता है कि कोई माल बेचने का कोशिश कर रहा है. Because he went through the ideation phase. और ये अगर आइडिएशन नहीं करेगा तो लगेगा ये तो हलवाई है यार, उसका अपना माल तो बेचेंगे, तो बोलेगा ही कि उसको माल तो बेचना ही है. So 3 parts. Part number 1, data, facts, non-debatable data, non-debatable facts. Part number 2, ideation, where you are open-minded and you involve people in the conversation. आपको क्या लगता है? What are your thoughts? You have experiences. Would you share based on your experiences? What is your perception of the whole thing? I get people involved. And part number 3 is then my opinions. Now we will go through a series of experiments. But before we go into experiments, a very small part. There is a large issue which happens when I believe my opinion to be a fact. Most issues happen when I believe my opinion is a fact and everybody should understand it. So let's say Gully Boy and Girish. Now Girish is saying, Gully Boy, kya mast picture hai. And one friend of mine whom I met last evening, Rajesh, says, practical nahi. Now if Girish believes his opinion is a fact, ये अच्छा picture है और पूरी दुनिया को मानना पड़ेगा, you know. He will say, वो इतना देखने जाएगा तो फिर पिक्चर ही नहीं बन सकता. तेरे को ये अच्छा नहीं लगा, दुनिया में तुमको कुछ अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. Now he believes his opinion is a fact, and anybody who doesn't see it as a fact is his enemy. ये आदमी बरोबर नहीं है. इसको सिर्फ बहस करने का रहता है. कितना नेगेटिव है, इतना अच्छा मूवी है, उसमें भी उसको कुछ ना कुछ खराब दिखता है. बेकार इंसान है. Most of us have this weakness of assuming our assumptions or opinions is a fact. Let's say, for example, Khushbu is here. I look at Khushbu, and the wire of the head mic is irritating over here. So I look at her and I do this. Now she can now form an opinion that Naren doesn't like me anymore. मेरे को देखा और मुंह बनाया. Now मैं मुंह नहीं बनाया, इधर थोड़ा मैं ठीक कर रहा था. But now she will make it into a fact in her head. आज के बाद, you know, all those statements will happen. लोग बदल जाते हैं, And all those statements will happen. Now, before I think my opinion is a fact, can I go through ideation? Can I ask? नरेन, आपने दीदी देख के मुंह बनाया, मेरे से नाराज हो? Can I be a little open-minded and attempt to see if there is any other perspective? Let's say किसी के घर में शादी है और अपने को invitation नहीं है. Now sitting inside your home, you can say, कितना किया मैंने उसके लिए? उसको जब लाइफ में जरूरत थी और कौन था? उसका अपना नहीं था, मैं खड़ा था. भूल गए लोग. अभी क्या उसको थोड़ा सक्सेस मिल गया है ना, वो पुरानी बातें भूल गया. वो two other possibilities are also there. He wanted to give the visiting card to you personally, and he kept it to one side, saying मेरे को खुद को जाके देके आने का है. मैं कोरियर में नहीं भेजेगा, मैं व्हाट्सएप में नहीं भेजेगा, मैं खुद जाएगा, because he is very important. And then it slipped the mind. Second possibility, he gave it to somebody whom he trusts. So he gave it to Kundalik, saying, Kundalik, ये कार्ड नरेन को देने का. In Kundalik farm, some issue happened, so Kundalik told his daughter Ankita, बेटा ये बहुत important है, नरेन को जाके देके आने का. Ankita said, "Oh, I will go and give." But she forgot. And Kundalik also forgot. But Kundalik knows Ankita को काम दिया तो पक्का करेगी. This is one of those rare mistakes in her life. So when Kundalik goes to the marriage, they ask, क्या बात है? स्वप्न आया नहीं? कार्ड दिया था ना? हाँ, कार्ड पक्का पहुंच गया होगा. मैंने अंकिता को दिया था. अंकिता काम करती है. Now the person who's married it, they might be thinking, Swapnil is upset with me. Opinion, I see it as fact. And over there, Swapnil must be thinking, भूल गया वो अपने को. दुनिया में ना भलाई का जमाना नहीं. आज के बाद ना किसी का भला नहीं करूंगा. क्या फायदा भला करके? शादी में नहीं बुलाते. Now my opinion, I assume is a fact. And I have a tendency to make mistakes in life. So there is one solid facts. That's why remember I said non-debatable facts. Andhvishwas is opinions which you believe is facts. उस पेड़ में एक भूतनी है. You will also create some imaginary facts. उसको पूछो रात को छम छम सुनाई दिया कि नहीं? हाँ ये मेरे को सुनाई दी, तेरे को भी सुनाई दिया. We'll create some imaginary facts, and we'll convince ourselves. सही नहीं. So non-debatable fact, ideation and opinions. Emphasis should be maximum on non-debatable facts. The next heaviest emphasis should be on ideation. And only then in the last stage comes opinions. When I can communicate keeping this in mind, my ability to persuade people will be very high. Any questions on this before we go through a few exercises? Yes, darling.
जब कोई ओपिनियन बना लेता है तो रिश्ते बिगड़ने का कारण यही होता है कि हम जैसे भी आपने एग्जांपल दिया मैं तो खाली वायर ठीक कर रहा था लेकिन उसने ओपिनियन बना लिया उसने आपको पूछा तो आपने उसका आंसर दे दिया कि भाई मैं तो ये कर रहा था, लेकिन उसने पूछा ही नहीं तो मन के अंदर वो धीरे धीरे वो जहर भरते जाएंगे। करेक्ट। और आगे जाके रिश्ते बिगड़ जाएंगे। बिल्कुल। और उसका जिम्मेदार कौन फिर? हम तो चाहते हैं कि हम तो प्यार करते हैं उससे। बिल्कुल करता हूँ। ऐसा होता है, हम तो करते हैं प्यार, लेकिन उसके मन में मेरे प्रति जो जहर है वो निकल ही नहीं रहा है और इससे बिगड़ जाते हैं। तो उस सिचुएशन में क्या करना चाहिए?
बैंक में बहुत ज्यादा ओवरड्राफ्ट है, सिचुएशन में क्या करोगी? ऑप्शन नंबर 1, बैंक बदल दो। ओवरड्राफ्ट चालू रहेगा, क्या करने है ना? Option number 2, wherever possible, start depositing a little. Which day, through which experience, they will change their opinion, we don't know. If that relationship matters a lot to us, then we need to take a decision कि इसके ऊपर मैं कितना मेहनत करेगा। मैं एक बार और एफर्ट डालूंगा, और it can be इस रिश्ते को जीतने के लिए मैं जिंदगी भर एफर्ट डालने के लिए तैयार हूँ, कोई इशू नहीं। उतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है तो एक बार एफर्ट डालूंगा। बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, जितना एफर्ट जरूरत है उतना एफर्ट डालूंगा, लेकिन छोड़ूंगा नहीं।
आपको लगता है कि वो रिश्ता मेरे लिए बहुत
इंपॉर्टेंट है,
ठीक है, लेकिन उसको लगता है कि कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है। परफेक्ट। आप उस रिश्ते के लिए मर रहे हो। अच्छा। लेकिन
ओके ओके, इसलिए आंसर इज वेरी सिंपल। इफ इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू मी, मैं तो लाइफ लॉन्ग एफर्ट करेगा। उनको जितने बार रिजेक्ट करना है, जितनी बार नो बोलना है, वो उनकी ताकत है, उनकी श्रद्धा है, उनकी मनस्थिति है। अभी वो कब बदलेगा मेरे को मालूम नहीं। मेरे को इंपॉर्टेंट है ना, मैं इनिशिएटिव लेता है, फिर उधर मैं अपने ईगो को साइड में कर देगा। वेरी सिंपल, क्वाइट पॉसिबल। देयर आर सम पीपल हु हैव डिसाइडेड नॉट टू लाइक यू एंड यू लव दोस पीपल। यू नो, many people went through the same just before Ranveer married Deepika. Millions of people in this country had the same feelings towards Deepika. But Deepika decided on Ranveer, क्या करेंगे? I wrote a condolence message to 3 people. It's always possible and it can always happen. इधर कोई गारंटीड अप्रोच नहीं है कि इट विल वर्क, बिकॉज इट्स अबाउट ओपिनियन ना। किसी ने मान लिया तो मान लिया, कुछ नहीं कर सकते उसको। ये औरंगजेब को गद्दी चाहिए तो बाप को भी जेल में डालना है, कोई इशू नहीं है, क्या कर सकते। एनी अदर क्वेश्चन बिफोर वी गो इनटू द प्रैक्टिकल्स? यस डार्लिंग।
Person says Mahatma Gandhi has said that hard work brings you success, and he persuades the people. But later on, it is found that this wasn't a fact. Mahatma Gandhi never said that. So, is this he created a fake fact? So, is this right or wrong?
I like the terminology, fake fact. Ideally, we shouldn't do that. Unless it's a situation of desperation. Ideally, we shouldn't do that. Ideally, we should have the ability to persuade people by using some facts, some ideation. Somebody else who would have said that hard work will lead to results. Ideally, I wouldn't recommend lying. Anybody else? Yes, dear.
Naren, I want to ask that persuasion, is it a type of convincing people?
Yes, it's one and the same. One and the same. In Hindi, colloquial word, you can also say patawing people. थोड़ा decent word is manawing people. More decent word is समझाओing people. All one and the same.
बकरा बनाना.
उधर तो किसी की बलि दे रहे हैं, इधर तो अपन उनको उठा रहे हैं, उनका भला हो रहा है. See, opinions.
एक सवाल.
हाँ नाली.
ये बिल्कुल उल्टा है. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि आप किसी की ओर देखो, इसके एकदम उल्टा है. मुझे लगता है मुझे चाह रहा है. मतलब
Absolutely.
हंसा तो फंसा, हंसी तो फंसी वाला चक्कर हो जाता है.
हाँ.
Not only in this thing, but many in cases like आप किसी को सपोर्ट देने के लिए एक स्टेटमेंट कर देते हो तो उसको लगता है अब ये मेरे लाइफ टाइम सपोर्ट के लिए खड़ा हो गया. एंड दैट पर्सन, उनके एक्सपेक्टेशन बहुत बढ़ जाते हैं. आपको पता भी नहीं चलता कि इसके एक्सपेक्टेशन आपसे इतने बढ़ गए हैं. And it becomes very difficult to then withdraw from that situation. Either you get pulled into it without your willingness to do, or you are not able to say no to anything. तो ऐसी बहुत सारी सिचुएशन है जिसमें कैसे डील करें.
Like he said, एकदम contra है. He's saying if you look at someone and if you smile, and they believe he is in love with me. In that situation, what to do? See, certain statements are born out of experiences of the youth. And I know some of you over here are saying, Naren, इतना हंसा, किसी को ये महसूस ही नहीं हुआ. एक को भी महसूस होता था मेरा लाइफ ठीक हो जाता था. People can have opinion in any way. The opinion can be negative, the opinion can be positive. The opinion can be I should do more, the opinion can be they should do more. The opinion can be तुम जितना भी करो कम है. The opinion can be बहुत कम किया है लेकिन उनको लगता है इतना हो गया मेरे लिए, मतलब जिंदगी भर के लिए मेरे ऊपर ऋण है. These are all opinions, right? And that depends a lot on the person's character and their attitude. Whenever you are in a stage or a situation where there are unrealistic expectations, so this is an example of unrealistic expectations, you can only sit and have a conversation. And that conversation should have these three phases. Let's discuss about facts, let's ideate, and then let's discuss about opinions. If our opinions match, it's great. If there are differences of opinion, we should know there is a difference of opinion. To solve it, let's go back to facts and ideation. This is the only way in which a conversation can happen. But this conversation needs an open mind. If open mind is not there, phase 2 will not happen. Phase 2 won't happen, and you don't have a hardcore facts, then you have to live with difference of opinion. See, in life, be ready to take tough calls. Be ready to be misunderstood. Be ready to be disliked. If the approach from you is gentle and your intentions are to help the other person. So I said two important parts. My approach should be gentle and I can take a standpoint. In my approach, there should be good intentions towards you and I can take a standpoint. Sorry, yaar, nahi ho payega. I need to take a standpoint every now and then for people to understand boundaries. Standpoint nahi liya to boundary nahi samjhega. And people will treat me the way I teach them to treat me. If I don't take standpoints, then the other person is going to attempt to take the path of least resistance. Remember last Sunday? Last Sunday we discussed about how a human being always searches for a path of least resistance. So if I can say that तुम मेरे को दे दो, मेरे को least resistance है, तुमसे easily मिल जाता है तो I will have a tendency to take that path. So be ready to be disliked by people. Sometimes we are not able to say no to people because we want to be liked by people. Sometimes we are not able to say no to people because we don't want the emotional drama which will happen when you say no to people. Sometimes you are not able to say no to people because you are looking at it from a point of sympathy, saying छोड़ो जाने दो अगली बार सुधर जाएगा. When I am not being wise, I am actually being stupid. So there can be various reasons why I am not able to say no. But in some situations, if I don't say no, things will become complicated. In 1984, there was riots in India where lakhs of Sikhs were killed. No punishment was given to people who caused this crime. And there were thousands of people who have witnessed the crime. It's not a crime which happened in the darkness of the night that nobody saw. 1992 Bombay riots. And again, lakhs of people were killed. And once again, nobody was punished. And then we had Godhra. Once again, thousands of people butchered, and yet nobody has been penalized. Pakistan can send terrorists which kills thousands of people every year. And we can keep claiming, we will do this, we will do that, one strike in Uri happens. But every day people are getting killed. So if we don't say no, things will become worse. If you say 10 बार गलती की 11वीं बार कोई बात नहीं, अगली बार सुधर जाएगा. I'm not saying it's impossible, but the chances are very less. By nature, some of us don't take tough stands. As a result of which things become worse. And unfortunately in our country, especially in the eastern part of the world, we have this philosophy called Kismat. And we can blame everything to Kismat later on. अभी क्या करें, किस्मत ही ऐसी थी. In the Western world, they don't have this thing called Kismat. In India, we have this concept of rebirth. अगले जन्म में, पूर्व जन्म का. Western world, you don't have a concept of rebirth. Therefore, they live, enjoy, because everything has to be done in one lifetime. So if I have to take a standpoint, I can escape it by saying, ये उसके पूर्व जन्म का कर्म का भी जो लिखा हुआ है क्या कर सकते हैं? Standpoint लो. Very crucial. I know a few of you are going through some stages in life where you have not been taking standpoints. And things are becoming more complicated, not easier. So have the courage to take standpoints. You be gentle. In taking standpoint, don't become rough. Be gentle but be very firm. We have that classic thing, na? Have an iron hand inside a velvet glove. And let's see what life does to us next. Take standpoints. Anything else? Okay. Find your pair. Now what are we going to do? It's very simple. Have a dialogue where you will just speak about facts. You tell statements which is only facts. For example, Anil will say, my name is Anil. Now, Prem will say another statement, so my name is Prem. And then, if Anil says, Acha naam hai, this is opinion, this is not fact. Understand? We are only talking about facts. Okay? So if Anil says, Prem in English means love, this is fact. Can you have a conversation which is only driven by facts and nothing but facts? If Anil has no counter to that name, he can always say, I have 2 children. And he can say, I want to have 2 children after I get married. As of now, I'm not married yet. Be a little careful, and the moment the other person moves into an opinion, just smile and say, give me a fact. So if somebody says, my hairstyle is nice, opinion or fact?
Opinion.
Opinion. So the moment there is opinion, smile and say, no, tell me a fact. Now for a few minutes, let's see if we can stay focused and have a discussion which is driven exclusively and comprehensively only on facts. Chalo. So was it easy or difficult?
Very easy.
Interesting, huh? I will come to the hands. How are they?
It was interesting, but when I don't have any more facts in my life, I don't have any other sentence to share with my partner. And it becomes, as we are sharing, and that's the point where I don't have any other thing to share, like nothing more to converse about.
I understand. Many marriages go through the same state. है ना? क्या बात करने का? You can discuss about so many facts. It need not be only about you. Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of our country. Fact or opinion? So, like that, there are so many facts. You know, all of us are sitting in life school office. There are millions of facts which are there inside the head. So, probably, it was a fault of my communication. Probably, many of you thought that you have to speak only about yourself. Yeah? So, I should have been a little more careful in my communication. Okay, Anil.
So many times it happens when you're talking about facts, you make a statement which is an opinion.
Correct.
And you realize that this is not a fact.
Absolutely.
Like I said, I like black color. So we're discussing about the opinion is a fact.
This is an opinion.
Yeah.
What we realize is facts are related to our past.
Correct.
And if we say anything about future, say like I told, I'll be going home now. So that may not be a fact. So something is going to be happening. That cannot be a fact.
So that's a very thin line. Okay. But if somebody is pregnant and they say, I'm going to deliver in a few days, okay, there's no doubts about it.
Miscarriage.
So deliver the whole thing, successful or failure. Yeah. Somebody at 99 says that I'm going to score a century. Now that may be an opinion. After this, I am going home. Thin line. What if in the road something happens? Yeah, that's a thin line. Absolutely.
She said, I like to meditate. I thought it's opinion. She said it's a fact. So what is it?
So personal likes and dislikes, they are all opinions. I'm not saying all opinions are wrong. An opinion can be right, an opinion can be wrong. But it's not a fact. Fact is non-debatable. For example, based on this example, For example, somebody can say, if you like to meditate, then you will meditate for at least 1 hour. If you sit only for 20 minutes or if you sit 5 times a day, then you can't say you like it. So you suddenly realize there are different opinions, right? If I like what I will do, if I don't like what I will do. So it's an opinion. It's an opinion.
So what if I said him that this crocodile of gold? He said such all gold like I say gold है.
Correct.
तो ये fact हो गया क्या?
तो ये actual gold का है तो fact है.
I said ना.
See, all I can say is, जो चीज़ बाइचन ज्वेलर से खरीदा है तो fact है. किसी और से खरीदा तो मालूम नहीं. Possible, right? अगर कहीं से गिफ्ट आया है पता नहीं दोनों हड़पसर के खिलाड़ी हैं. हाँ जी.
What I realize, sometimes I want to give opinion, like guessing. I go into questions.
Yes. है ना? So this is kind of clear to most of us, right?
Yes.
Huh? Now keep this in the context of persuading people. So if, let's say, Rita wants to persuade people into meditation by saying, I like meditation, therefore you also should sit for meditation. नहीं हो पाएगा काम. Because it's an opinion which is being told to people, may not work at all. So when you want to persuade people, get ready with facts. ढूंढना ही पड़ेगा. Now let's discuss about ideation. Now this is an extraordinary ability. Not many people can, one, listen to others non-judgmentally, and two, not many people know how to ask for another person's opinion. They have a knowledge, they believe that's the fact. बस मेरे को और किसी से कुछ पूछना ही नहीं है. They are closed-minded. Now when I am closed, I don't include people in the conversation. When I don't include people in the conversation, I will be able to get along with people who like me and whom I like. But new people, I'll take a long time to build relationships. And if there is somebody who knows how to ask questions and get ideation done, you can make relationships fast. You can get along well with anybody. So, like what Bharti said, there are many people who say, I meet someone, but I don't know what to talk. बात क्या करने का? मैं उनको जानता ही नहीं है तो बात क्या करने का? अरे बात करोगे तभी तो जानोगे. बिना बात किए जानोगे कैसे? Hence, this is an extraordinary ability. So let's say Khushbu does Zumba classes and she wants to expand it in the entirety of town. With the people she knows, she will do it in Aun and Baner. But if she wants to become a city-wide person, she has to meet a lot of new people. And when she meets a lot of new people, people will remember her when she could engage them in a conversation. Again, remember last life lesson. To be interesting, you must be interested. So if I have to see as an interesting person, I want others to see me as an interesting person, they have to believe I am interested in them. I am not just interested in me saying something. And this is where ideation happens. Typically, it can be like, what do you think about? Is one classic way by which you can do ideation. What do you think are the possible? Now there's another way by which you ideate. What do you think should be? another way to ideate. Most of us like to express our opinion, and people should accept it. Very difficult in today's world. So can I include people in a conversation by asking them, what are your thoughts on something? So now Prem can ask Anil, Anil, what are your thoughts on wearing black? Now Anil can speak for a long time on what are his thoughts on black. Now Anil, let's say, says 7 things which is good about black. ब्लैक का क्या झंझट नहीं है, सब कलर के कपड़े के साथ जाता है. ब्लैक क्या है, दाग वाग भी लग जाता है ना तो भी कोई इशू नहीं है, बीवी से उतनी डांट नहीं पड़ती. ब्लैक का क्या, पूरे दिन में गंदा भी हो गया ना किसी को समझ में नहीं आता है. So like that he can say many things. Now he need not agree with all. At the end of it he can come and say, ये 2 पॉइंट जो आपने बोले ना बहुत कमाल के थे, ये मैं 2 पॉइंट जिंदगी में याद रखूंगा. He need not say 7 में से 2 ही ठीक, 5 तो क्या है, I don't agree. And by the way, let me tell all of you, today there is a trend in the world to tell people, I don't agree. That's the most useless statement that you can make in relationships. You become the center of the whole conversation when you say, I don't agree. And the other person in the mind says, go to hell. You don't agree, what's the big deal? Don't agree. I don't care whether you agree or not. You have to express a difference of opinion. There are elegant ways to do it. One is, that's interesting. The other is, on the same topic, there can be many perspectives. From today onwards, you will not say, I don't agree. It's equivalent to say, you are stupid, you are idiot. You don't agree with me? So now what we are going to do is, we are going to do a small round of ideation. Now, first take a few minutes and think about points or topics in which you would like the other person to speak about their opinion. Let it be relevant to your life. So please don't ask, should Rahul Gandhi be the Prime Minister? That is also ideation. What do you think? But it's not relevant to you and me. I mean, क्या करोगे तुम लोग? Unless you want to create a campaign. So think about issues of your life. It's coming, but it's not coming. How many of you have gone through this in your life? So take 2-3 minutes and think about your life-oriented things on which you would like to have another person's opinion. Okay? Please take 2 minutes and just think. And the moment you are ready in a pair, you can start the conversation. So, your insights. क्या हुआ, कैसा लगा?
Like when I asked for opinion, so if she felt connected, and while giving her opinion, she got into facts.
वाह, सही है. Anybody else? Observation?
Ideation was more interesting, profound, deep, and enjoyable.
Yeah, glad.
If I am interested in any discussion, then I will learn.
Yeah.
Clarity comes.
Clarity comes. Okay.
I'm willing to solve or accept my challenges. So then I would get the more suggestions or help from other people.
Absolutely.
When I asked for the opinion, like he said, he also went into facts. But then, like, I never have talked to him. Because we're talking each opinion, like, we shared a lot of facts and about this thing. Right? So it was a good conversation.
Absolutely.
So asking for opinion is a good way of start discussion.
Yeah. The issue with us is when we want to start a conversation, our first thinking is, I should appear to be very smart. वो अपना longing रहता है, they अपना impression डालने का है, they should get blown away by me. Doesn't work that way. Never works that way. So the best way to have a conversation is by asking opinions. The more relevant it is, the better it is. So if you are speaking to a technologist and you ask him, the speed at which technology is changing, what's your opinion on how should a person like me become ready for the future? And they will have so much to say. I saw one hand.
As you rightly said, we should not say I don't agree with you because वो मेरे लिए बच्चा है. He gave me a lot of ideas which I have gone through. But I was listening to him with that passion. Yes, he's coming with ideas. कोई ना कोई idea उसको click होगा.
Correct.
So something definitely come. Maybe 7 ideas. So even one idea that ideas spark.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
I realize that ideation is interesting, or it is possible in my case when I am interested in a topic. But if that topic is of my concern or pressure, then that ideation is very difficult. Then my mind gets blocked, and it is very difficult to open the mind.
Absolutely. So when I want to take a deep dive or when I want to solve something, then ideation is easy. If it's a topic which kind of invokes a lot of emotions inside me, then I would prefer to keep it to a side and not go into ideation. Absolutely.
Ideation tunes both the people in one frame of mind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And later on, when you take a selfie, you can come in the same frame. I mean, not only the mind, the body can also come in the same frame. Jay?
So I have a question.
Yes, darling.
What do you want from the conversation is a question you need to ask before we begin ideating.
So you need to ask that question to yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
है ना?
ये जरूरी है.
हाँ, बिल्कुल. So do you want the other person to feel comfortable? Do you want their opinion? Do you want to simply pass time because you have to be together for a little while? It depends on what do you want out of that conversation. Absolutely.
When we are sharing the opinion, one thing is understood. If the other person is interested in the conversation, they'll keep asking questions. If they are not interested, they ask that one question and the conversation ends there.
Absolutely.
Ideation needs preparation. When a person gives his opinion, we also know to understand that whose opinion is values to us. That's also very important.
Absolutely. Now let's go to the. Yes, Harshad.
What I realized that before going to ideation, I need to surround by strong facts, strong experience, so that the person is ready to listen to that opinion.
So if somebody is asking you for something, right? Or you are asking people.
Somebody is asking.
You can speak about opinion, you need not have fact. Yeah. In ideation, it's only wild imagination. It can be based on experience, it can be zero experience at all. So for example, if it is, यार ये juvenile का काम करे क्या? अभी इधर fact कुछ भी नहीं है. I think it is something which is worth pursuing. I think it will be really helpful. I think for the future generations, this is something which must be done. That can be very challenging, लेकिन इतना मजा आएगा ये काम करके. 50 लोगों की अगर जिंदगी बदल गया है तो कितना मतलब लगेगा कुछ तो खास किया है. 2019 will actually be incredible if we can do that. So these are all imaginations. इसमें fact बोल के कुछ भी नहीं है ना. So in ideation, it's not possible always to have facts. So often in ideation, you do ideation because you don't have enough facts. You do ideation because you do not have enough facts. Yes.
In fewer times, what happens in this ideation that long time, since long time, something is going in your mind which is not getting solved.
Yes.
And for in a second, sometimes in taking opinion and sharing opinion, it is solved.
Absolutely. Because what is happening is, she's so right, Kulsum. The moment you are wanting to listen to someone, your mind is also opening. Probably one of those life lessons I'll speak to you about how the entire mechanism of the mind works and why open-minded creates magic inside our head. A part of it is I'm listening to you. But as I'm listening to you, like Pratik said, my mind also moves into a frame. And in that frame, with something simple that you say, I might be able to get a lot of clarity on what I wanted to do. So the other day, me and Bharti were sitting in the balcony of the house and we were just chatting. And Bharti was speaking to me about how she is going through some beautiful trainings in her school where she is going to teach. And out of that, these three words came. And I immediately looked at her and said, now this is something really beautiful and I'll create a life lesson out of this. So today's life lesson is courtesy, good married life, child together, and a smart wife. Moral of the story, all people who are married here, especially husbands, listen to your wife. Hi.
Then generally what I do is, if I have got an idea, I just don't spell out my idea first. Whenever I'm there and a certain needs to be done this way, first I tell the other person, भाई इसको कैसे करने? They will explain to me कैसा करेंगे ये. Then if I find that that idea is good enough, I don't give my idea. When I find that yes, what I have thought can be a better way, so then I will say कि भाई इसको ऐसे नहीं ऐसे करेंगे तो कैसा होगा? यानी उसके ऊपर मैं इम्प्लीमेंट भी नहीं करता हूँ और उसका ओपिनियन देने के लिए उसको कन्विंस कर लेता हूँ.
हाँ, उनको impose नहीं किया. So that is a very good way in which you get people involved. But also think about ideation from a perspective of, I myself don't have a solution, but I would like to know what is possible according to you. There will be time when I don't have a solution. लेकिन 5 लोगों को इकट्ठा करते और बोलते चलो यार क्या करेंगे, कैसे कर सकते हैं? Let's say, for example, if the raw material average life in our factory is 4 months का हमारे पास average raw material रहता है. If turnover is 100 crores and I have 25 crores of raw materials or goods in production, I don't know how to make it less. But how about sitting and ideating कि यार 25% की जगह अगर इसको अपने को 20% करने का है, क्या कर सकते हैं? And you will find beautiful ideas or germs of an idea. Now, in brainstorming, we call this as germs of ideas. No idea is ever born fully developed. You only get the germ of an idea. But together, as the discussion happens, an idea gets developed. So again, one reason why many of us don't voice an opinion is, ये complete नहीं लगता, ये powerful नहीं लगता है. अरे अपना काम है बोलने का. It can be one statement in a book, but the book is made of statements. So similarly, so often in ideation, Tahebai will give one idea, where a part is brilliant. Prem will give another idea, and these two ideas together might make a lot of sense, which my mind was not capable of thinking. And that is when people feel involved. कि मेरा एक छोटा सा पोर्शन था जिसकी वजह से देखो इतना बड़ा चीज बन गया है. So that is why this entire approach of ideation is supremely powerful. What one mind cannot achieve, many minds together can achieve. That's why ideation is very important. Open-minded ideation, where I am genuinely seeking thoughts, possibilities, options, for me to move ahead. It's a brilliant capability. Me and Paresh have been discussing this for quite some time and quite frequently. Let's assume we are idiots in our work. And now let's seek the best of knowledge. Let's not think, I know it. Let me genuinely think, I don't know. Because if I know, I should have been number one in the world. And those who are number one in the world realize that they don't know enough. So I am not number one anywhere, तो कितना सीखना बाकी है? Now, genuinely as a student, I would like to learn. So even when I'm training on parenting, I believe I know about 5% on that topic. 95% still has to be discovered. So when I meet a parent who has a child who's doing well in one aspect of life, I'll immediately ask them, what are you doing right in parenting? Your child is so good in something you would have done which was right. And so often, we get germs of an idea. And out of that, an entire concept is born. So ideation is possible when you have that hunger and when you are willing to admit, I don't know enough and I would love to know more. So that's the base. I don't know enough, I want to learn more. For many of us, our life goes in defending our knowledge. And we become stagnant. And there are some people who take this path. I don't know enough and I want to know more. These are the people who have momentum in their life. So me and Joe were discussing, Joe is outside again, me and Joe were discussing this last night. No, the night before last. There is this concept called what-ifing. It's the base of all creativity. So it can be something as simple as what if, and you make a statement. So let's say Tyrwai calls his board meeting, and in the board meeting there are 7-8 people who are responsible for the future of the organization. And what is the theme of the meeting? The theme of the meeting is what if. So Vijay goes to office and he calls his top 5 people and says, let's just complete the statement, and the statement is relevant to our organization. What if? What if Amazon decides to move into delivery of medicines? What if Uber Eats decides Uber Meds? Today I am proud that I am giving delivery to retailers in 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, right? Uber Eats delivers food in 30 minutes. And food has to be cooked. And sometimes it's a little tailor-made. Medicine is ready. So if Domino's can deliver pizza in 30 minutes, Uber Eats can deliver food in 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. मेरा 2 घंटा delivery, is it efficient? Or is a revolution possible over here? Should I tie up with Uber Eats? What if we start telling people, we will give you delivery of medicines within 30 minutes? Now this what-ifing will lead to brainstorming. इसमें क्या गलत हो सकता है, इसमें क्या सही हो सकता है, इसका disadvantage क्या है, इसका advantage क्या है. Now all the ideas will come. Not necessarily any idea is perfect, but half an idea from there, quarter of idea from there, some idea from there, and ultimately at the end of a meeting we'll come with 3 or 4 conclusions. Now this is what-ifing. So stage number one, all of you who want to do something really nice in life, become champions in what ifing. And after what ifing, stage number two is so. So what ifing says possibilities, so is about action. So what I should do now is, so then Vijay will say, okay, I will lead the coordination with Uber. I will also open up chats with Ola. Or I will talk to Swiggy and we'll form a joint venture company where Swiggy holds 50%, we will hold 50%. Swiggy takes care of last mile delivery and I take care of logistics and all over the country sourcing of medicines so that it can happen brilliantly well. Today we are doing 100 crores. This in 2 years time we should be able to do 5,000 crores. क्या मजा आएगा? मतलब आज तक जो भी knowledge है ना, has only helped me to perform at 2% capacity, 98% तो बाकी है और possible है. कोई ना कोई करेगा, आज मैं करूंगा या कल कोई और करेगा. चलो इसमें घुसते हैं. Now action points will start getting made. Now he'll be able to go to an Ola, Uber, Swiggy when he's not scared of people who are doing 10 times better than him. Or he'll call one of his neighbors, let's say his name is Pradeep Jain, who does 25 crores of business, who thinks Vijay is his hero in life because Vijay has grown from scratch to 100 crores. Now, it will be very comfortable for him to go to him and say, hey, क्या लगता है रे? And he'll say, hey, भाऊ, करना चाहिए, आप कर सकते हो भाऊ. And Vijay feels very nice, comes back home and says, यार, मेरा मार्केट में बहुत इज्जत है. प्रोग्रेस नहीं, डेवलपमेंट नहीं हुआ, कुछ कमाल नहीं हुआ. And this is necessary for what ifing and the second thing called. चलो discuss करते हैं. If I have strong opinion, then I cannot go into ideation. मेरा जो opinion है वो ultimate है, बस बहस नहीं करने का. If you agree with me, चलो साथ में. नहीं तो you go your way, I will go my way. All miracles and all revolutions in the world needs this second step. What do you say? कितनी शांति है. Pin drop silence. But something so interesting. Just think about it. What ifing? Back it with so. And the so is all about actions. I would have loved to take all of you through stage 3 also today, but the watch says we don't have enough time. So let's continue this life lessons next Sunday. I've still done about 40% of what I wanted to do. I was not anticipating the questions which came. So as the question took a little time. But as you ask questions, this is an ideation phase. So sometimes a little time goes in that. So next Sunday, we'll discuss part 2 of today's life lesson. About opinions, how to handle difference of opinion, how to present an opinion. When you know the other person's opinion is wrong, how do you guide it or how do you avoid arguments and confrontations? Because let's say me and Anu have a difference of opinion on a few things, but I need his support for a few things. Now how do I handle that situation? All this will lead me to be a person who becomes over a period of time an expert in persuading others. So let's summarize what we have learned in today's life lesson. Yes, Kunj?
Yeah, I think today's session is very important, whether it is a personal life, whether it is a social life, or whether it is a business life.
Absolutely.
The three things which I will be implementing in my business is the use data and demo.
Yeah.
I want the customer to buy my software. You're saying ये software में अच्छा हो जाएगा. Are we saying the proof कि by doing this like your inventory? अगर वो 2 crore का inventory है तो by doing it come down to 27%. So if I use more of the data and the study, so that is more impact.
Absolutely.
Second thing is that in the meeting, instead of I put my feeling or my opinion on the people, they say I should ask for your opinion. What do you feel?
Yeah.
And what if? What if this happens? What if? This will be really useful. It was more like a very session for me.
I'm glad. Okay, how many of you are professionals and businessmen here? Quite a lot of you. Okay. Very soon, I want to have a session exclusively for professionals and businessmen, which is about how do I make presentations. If I have to convince people, I need to make presentations. If I am going to a board, I need to make presentations. How do I do that? One of you please remind me. We'll have the session exclusively one of those evenings, not Sunday morning life lessons, but maybe Thursday evening, maybe Wednesday morning, something like that we'll have a session. Because many of us have no idea on how to make a good presentation. We make a PPT, we can make a PDF, but that's not good. We will take into account the psychological aspect of a presentation, the emotional aspect of a presentation, the persuasion aspect of a presentation, and we'll have a session. Anybody else?
Most issue happens when I see my opinion as facts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Most issues in life happens when I see my opinion as a fact. The second is when I want to convince an opinion with an opinion. You have a different opinion, I have a different opinion. I want to convince you using only opinion, not facts. It will never get happen. It will never get solved.
I don't know enough and I want to learn more.
Absolutely. Core for momentum in life. That's when you will meet people who are 5 times, 10 times, 20 times better than you. And in a 10-minute meeting with these people, you will learn something by which your life will improve. Girish?
My flow in conversation should be data, ideation, and then opinion.
Yeah.
And I have a greater chance of success in persuading people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because data opens their mind, ideation involves them so they are not feeling isolated, and then an opinion has a lot of weight. So that's how the process happens.